Hello, this is Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for the July 4th lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. I want the peace of God, lesson 185. I want the peace of God. Okay, so here on this day that we talk about freedom, well, let's think about peace and how much that's the value of having freedom, that we can have peace. And of course, that's something we can have. We're learning we can have peace no matter what the external world's doing for us. So let's stay focused on that. I want the peace of God. Before we go to that lesson, think about how that how'd you do yesterday on the name of God is my inheritance, lesson 184. Before we move on, I did want to just take a few sentences and read you them again. It's kind of like a recap, what I thought was like he said so well, and that we can just kind of take it with us then. So it's lesson, it starts off in paragraph 9, and I'm just going to read the last part of paragraph 9 and paragraph 10 and the first part of paragraph 11. So listen to this. You have need to use the symbols of the world a while, but be you not deceived by them as well. They do not stand for anything at all. And in your practicing, it is this thought that will release you from them. Wow. Let's read that again. They do not stand for anything at all. And in your practicing, it is this thought that will release you from them, that they don't mean anything. Things that don't mean anything, you don't accord value, and they're gone because you don't see any interest in them any longer. And you're the maker of your world, and so just give only what's good value, beauty, God. Saw a sign the other day that said God is the only good. And I thought to myself, you could drop only. God is good. It's the only thing there is God. So I like that saying. God is good. God is the only good. Either one. They do not stand for anything at all, and in your practicing, it is this thought that will release you from them. They become but means by which you can communicate in ways the world can understand, but which you recognize as not the unity where true communication can be found. Thus, what you need are intervals each day in which the learning of the world becomes a transitory phase. A prison house from which you go into the sunlight and forget the darkness. So, like leaving the world, the prison house, leaving it and going into the sunlight and forget the darkness. Here you understand the world. Here you understand the word, the name which God has given you, the one identity which all things share, the one acknowledgement of what is true. And then step back to darkness, not because you think it real, but only to proclaim its unreality in terms which still have meaning in the world which darkness rules. Isn't that beautiful? And then step back to darkness, not because you think it real, but only to proclaim its unreality in terms which still have meaning in the world which darkness rules. Wow, we're great lights, aren't we? Use all the little names and symbols which delineate the world of darkness, yet accept them not as your reality. The Holy Spirit uses all of them, but he does not forget creation has one name, one meaning, and a single source which unifies all things within itself. So we're one in God. It's a worldwide neighborhood we have. Everybody's brother, everyone's family, a worldwide neighborhood. That's what I think is important, that we all start thinking along those lines. There's one world neighborhood. Look at this as a persimmon. I just dug it up. I was getting ready to mow this field, and I've got a bunch of persimmons I'm harvesting. I had one of them I dug up earlier. By the time I was going to show you, it wilted so bad that I went and dug up another one. I've got a lot of them out here, and I'm hoping to get them to to root. And the next I put them in a little, I guess probably about a gallon used pot, and they stand like you see how tall they are. This one here, I think this one here has enough small. I may have to break a little bit more off. You don't want too much top growth because I lost a lot of root when I dig them up in my rocky ground. But I'll keep them in the shade for this month and put them out in the fall. And when they get lots of roots in their pot that aren't root bound. Look at some things that I thought it was just amazing about persimmons, though. You know, they're on the tree all winter long. I mean, animals take them off pretty quick after they taste so good, and they're so good for you. But the fruit can stay on there all winter long, and a lot of people that don't have, animals that come eat them can leave them like in your backyard and wait till after frost, and you can take them out anytime in the wintertime. So you've got a winter fruit. It's amazing. They taste better after a frost, actually. I mean, they've quit growing. Look what it says here. The common persimmon, it's Diospyros virginiana, and that's the scientific name. I found this quote. I'm just going to read it to you. I found it on healthline.com. Persimmons are sweet, versatile fruits full of vitamins, fiber, and beneficial plant compounds. They promote heart health, reduce inflammation, support healthy vision, and keep your digestive system healthy. So anyway, I thought that's some cool stuff. The wood's sought after. A lot of people call it white ebony. It's real hard, like ebony, but it's white. I've heard, if you want a really hard wood, that's a hard wood right there, persimmon. Okay, and it's a pioneer species. It's one of the first trees that come forth, so it's a nice one to plant when you're doing successive planting. I'm kind of hoping to get some of these started and then maybe graft onto the rootstock a more domesticated or a different variety. Kind of what I'm thinking. All right, let's go to our lesson today, 185. I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. To say these words is nothing. I want the peace of God. But to mean these words is everything. And some people could say, I just want peace. I want peace. Because what we realize is that everything is God. And when we realize that everything's God, we want the peace that allows us to know that. I want peace. I want the peace of God. If you could but mean these words for just an instant, there would be no further sorrows possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. Wow, now that's quite a promise, isn't it? Let's look at it again one more time. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Wow. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. Wow, no death, the eternal life now. Resurrection of all creation fully recognized now. Number 2, no one can mean these words and not be healed. No one can mean these words and not be healed. He cannot play with dreams, nor think he is himself a dream. He cannot make a hell and think it real. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. It's that easy. Remember, God's not hard to find. He's completely accessible. So just get your meaning, your will, your desire to be truly wanting. I want the peace of God, and it's yours. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him, for that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. 3. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. For minds can only join in truth. In dreams, no two can share the same intent. To each, the hero of the dream is different. The outcome wanted not the same for both. Loser and gainer merely shift about in changing patterns as the ratio of gain to loss and loss to gain takes on a different aspect or another form. 4. Yet compromise alone a dream can bring. Sometimes it takes the form of union, but only the form. The meaning must escape the dream, for compromising is the goal of dreaming. Minds cannot unite in dreams, they merely bargain. And what bargain can give them the peace of God? And what bargain can give them the peace of God? Illusions come to take his place. Illusions come to take his place. And what he means is lost to sleeping minds intent on compromise, each to his gain and to another's loss. 5. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. For no one means these words who wants illusions and who therefore seeks the means which bring illusions. He has looked on them and found them wanting. Now he seeks to go beyond them, recognizing that another dream would offer nothing more than all the others. Dreams are one to him. This is where we want to get, where all the dreams are the same. They're all just dreams. They're make-believes. They're loss of peace. And he has learned their only difference is one of form, for one will bring the same despair and misery as do the rest. We want just the opposite of despair and misery. We want peace. So when we ask for it honestly, we will get it. And that's what really all we want anyway. We don't really want despair and misery. But if we don't know what's causing it, we may think we do. So we've come a long ways to be able to even talk about these things and to sit peacefully and let the Holy Spirit show us how we've been wrong, or we can actually be happy. And we learned that yesterday, that we can be happy when we see that we've made a mistake, because now we can make a new choice, one that's good for our happiness and the whole world's happiness. And he has learned their only difference is one of form, for one will bring the same despair and misery as the rest. Paragraph 6. The mind which means that all it wants is peace must join with other minds. For that is how peace is obtained. We see our oneness with everyone, and we're at peace with that. We love that. We take heart in that, take encouragement in that, take life sustenance in that. The relationships, the oneness with God and everyone, a worldwide neighborhood. That's something to celebrate. To see in the worldwide family, the brotherhood, the body of Christ, whatever word works in your particular way of seeing the world. Put your word in there for the worldwide neighborhood of peace, where we all love each other and we care for each other and we want to help each other. The mind which means that all it wants is peace must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it are given in a form each mind which seeks for it in honesty can understand. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. And if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet with acceptance and be truly learned. So when you're ready, you'll get it. When you're not ready, you're not. So work on being wanting peace. I want the peace of God. That peace that surpasses all understanding, as the Apostle Paul must have been him who wrote that. We want the peace of God that passes all understanding. I want the peace of God. And we're getting the understanding of how to get there too, and how to continue on the journey. Thanks be to God. Paragraph 7. Let's see, is that where we're at? Let us today devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say. We want the peace of God. This is no idle wish. These words do not request another dream be given us. They do not ask for compromise, nor try to make another bargain in the hope that there may be one which can succeed where all the rest have failed. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams which seem to change in what they offer, but are one in nothingness. If they're just bringing us despair and misery and they don't bring us peace, well, then let them go. We've learned that we don't need them. We don't need to put energy into them. It's not what we value. We're working with our values here, seeing what's worthless and what's worthy. Paragraph 8. Today, devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind to find the dreams you cherish still. What do you ask for in your heart? Forget the words you use in making your requests. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one. They just aren't real. The only thing that's real is love, is good, is beauty, is God. Everything else is valueless, not worth imagining. Paragraph 9. And being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You chose God's peace and you have asked for dreams. And dreams will come as you requested them. Yet will God's peace come just as certainly and to remain with you forever. It will not be gone with every twist and turning of the road to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. It's there already. Join up with it. Get in step. Say, I want the peace of God. And you've got it. It's already there. It'll never leave you. When you want it, and that's what you want, and that's all you want, and you'll get it. Paragraph 10. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. For them as well as for yourself, you ask but this when you make this request with deep sincerity. For thus you reach to what they really want and join your own intent with what they seek above all things, perhaps unknown to them, but sure to you. You have been weak at times, uncertain in your purpose, and unsure of what you wanted, where to look for it, and where to turn for help in the attempt. Help has been given you, and would you not avail yourself of it by sharing it? So now we're going to share it. The help comes to us. We all remember those times where help's come down. Now we're going to be the conduit of help. Paragraph 11. No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it, for he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? Who could be unanswered who requests an answer which is his to give? The peace of God is yours. 12. For you it was created, given you by its creator, and established as his own eternal gift. How can you fail when you but ask for what he wills for you? And who could your request be limited to you alone? Oh, and how could your request be limited to you alone? No gift of God can be unshared. It is this attribute that sets the gifts of God apart from every dream that ever seemed to take the place of truth, is that you can share with everything and everyone. Complete honesty, because it's true. Just true. Paragraph 13, and this is next to last. No one can lose and everyone must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. God gives but to unite. To take away is meaningless to him, and when it is as meaningless to you, and when it is as meaningless to you as it is to God, you can be sure you share one will with him, and he with you. Wow, isn't that beautiful? To take away is meaningless to God, and when it is as meaningless to you, you can be sure you share one will with him and he with you, and you will also know you share one with all your brothers, whose intent is yours. Whose intent is yours. Wow, isn't that beautiful? In the last paragraph, it is this one intent we seek today. What is that one intent? I want the peace of God. It is this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies beyond despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. With help like this beside us, can we fail today as we request the peace of God be given us? Wow, what help we have. I want the peace of God. I want the peace of God. And how do we get the peace of God? By sharing the peace of God. So, be sure to share the peace of God, the kindness of God, the love of God, everything you know about God. Joy, happiness, pass it on. I want the peace of God.